And with that, we are live with Veronica right here on Amazon, amazon.com/live. You can find us. You can always go to www.motivationallistener.live and see current, past, and upcoming broadcasts. But Veronica, welcome. Glad to have you here on Amazon.
Thank you. I'm so excited about this. This is my first Amazon Live, and I can't wait to just get into everything.
Well,
So,
we're going to be talking about your book, and I'm going to highlight it here. The Shopify Made Easy. And I don't know if that's a deceptive title or not, but we'll talk about Shopify because in today's world, you need to have some sort of an e-commerce platform, whether you sell services, whether you sell physical products. If you have a brick and mortar retail store, you need to have an online presence. And I think this last 18 months really convinced people that they need to have some sort of e-commerce platform. And there's a lot of things that you can cobble together, but I haven't myself seen anything simpler than Shopify. But before we get too far into this, Veronica, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people what is going on in Veronica's world.
so I'm called the Shopify Queen, and actually didn't choose it myself. It was chosen for me. But I do know a lot about Shopify. And so I've, helped clients from retail to going online. And as you said, the last 18 months have been an eye opener. So when people have said, well, it's just there, I don't have to worry about it, but I've got a retail store, suddenly they had to pivot and be online, right? And also I decided to write. The first thing I did was I created videos for my clients, because they kept asking me the same questions. And I thought, let me create these videos, and it's like my chapters in my book. And then I thought, well, maybe I should write a book, So one of those brilliant ideas, that I was going to do in 30 days. And 9 months later, I launched my ebook. And about 6 months later, I launched my printed version. But it took a long time. And obviously, in my lifetime, I have never done anything easy. It either had to be not or extremely difficult, right? So I did a totally technical step-for-step book. So if you do not understand anything about it, this is how to get online. And Shopify is easy, but it's also confusing, right? You've got so many balls you have to balance and get in, and you have to think of all these little balls. So that's what I did. And, when I started in the computer life a few years ago, I'm obviously queen of the internet as well. So I've been on the internet for such a long time. So it was, my husband said to me, if you want to go on a computer, you have to learn a system. And that's how I learned anything that I did online. And I'm also a Microsoft certified systems engineer. I don't think anybody knows that. And that's one of my side careers I gave up as a bad idea. And then, but just the books helping my clients, I have had such enjoyment creating this and then selling it. That's been the exciting part. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I just want to remind everybody, where are you broadcasting from?
So as you might be able to see, maybe I'm broadcasting from a boat. It is not in the ocean right now. It's actually undercover in a marina, but I live on a boat. So yes, I've been living on a boat for the last 11 years, maybe, and no intention of getting off my boat, baby. No intention.
So how did you happen to choose boat life?
Well, it's a long and a short story. My husband, we've always wanted to have a boat. And then, we moved countries and gained babies and life happened. And then he said to me, we need to save some money because, when we came as foreigners to the United States, my sons could not get scholarships, loans, or anything. We had to pay
Mm-hmm.
cash. And you know how much college is in the United States, right? And
Indeed.
so, yes. So he says, you know what? I think we need to save some money. So what about a boat? And I went, why not? I've never been on a boat. I was on a cruiser once, right? Once. So I am in Houston, just outside Houston, off the Galveston Bay area.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm about on a slow boat, about 2-3 hours going by boat to Galveston to get into the actual Gulf. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So we had a comment, Pavlo. He was saying that the audio is breaking a little bit, and I said, "Well, she's
oh,
from a boat, so we'll live with it." So again, we are talking with Veronica Jeans about Shopify and e-commerce, and I believe everybody that's in business should have some sort of an e-commerce site, and especially if you have a brick and mortar store, we realize that a lot of people weren't able to come to stores during the severe lockdown.
yes.
But what happened is people got used to having things delivered and to be able to shop even at their local stores. And they wanted that convenience of being able to go online, find the products they want, have them delivered right to them. But also with the comfort maybe of knowing that they're shopping at a local retailer. So it's not all about selling worldwide.
No, no,
But
exactly.
yeah, so let's kind of go back to the origins of how did you get involved with e-commerce?
Well, I actually had a very successful recruiting company, and I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. It was recession. I hit Houston, and
Mm,
I decided to do something else with my life. And then I turned around and I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell something online. And it so happened that I had a fabulous chat with a sales guy at a 3D card, and he started sending me clients and
mm,
customers. And I thought, this is cool. And
yeah.
that's how I got into it, literally. And that's how I started learning because
Mm,
teaching as well. Um, because I knew some HTML. I've been in the internet industry a little bit online, so you know what, you can learn anything, right? But I also have international banking financial experience.
hmm.
I've run my own few $1 million company, had employees, so I've got that background of business. And you know what? It's business, right? Whatever
Right.
business you're going to
Hmm.
run. So
So
yeah,
that's
so I
good.
got
Yeah.
it. I got it from this side of e-commerce and not from the actual selling side. But
Right.
anything you sell is a process, right? It is.
Hmm.
You have to. It takes. Actually, I have also sold stuff when I was in Europe before the internet. As I said, internet queen here as well. And it was actually importing from Africa into Europe before Europe became so picky.
Hmm.
And so, but anything you sell, whether it's a service or a product, you have to make somebody else fall in love with whatever you're doing, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. And so let's talk about Shopify specifically.
Mm.
And of course, I think of it as for products. Is that Would that be fair to say that Shopify is really a product site, or could we sell services on there as well?
You can sell literally anything. I mean, if you have a site and people are going to pay you something, you can sell your courses on it. I sell my services on it. And obviously, I started on Shopify because I was I needed to be on the platform that I'm promoting. And
Right.
so I sell my services.
Yeah.
I have a print on demand for my books. I don't just sell them on Amazon. I have what else? So I actually do my shipping through Shopify as well. And that's what I mean. If I have something to send to my family, I create a product and ship it through Shopify. It's cheaper. It's cheaper. I save
Well,
60%.
there's a special hack
I
right
know,
there.
right? I know, right? And
So
so
Christmas is coming.
I know, I know.
Everyone can go to Shopify on Veronica's site and see what they're going to be getting inside the box.
Yes. So it sort of popped in my head. And yes, I mean, if you're on Shopify and you have an e-commerce store, but you're also a retail store, Shopify has that connection with
Hmm.
hardware, right? So they literally have a point of sale system that they sell as well from other vendors, but they provide it that you can connect your retail store to your e-commerce store, and then it syncs seamlessly. Except when somebody walks around in the retail store with things in their hand and they're going, maybe I'll buy this, and
Right.
somebody else snags it online. You've
Hmm.
lost out. But I mean, that's one of the little problems about having a retail store and an online store, but you can get around it as well.
Right. I just want to remind everybody that we are talking with Veronica Jeans, the Shopify Queen. Her book highlighted in the Amazon Live carousel right now, Shopify Made Easy. And again, this is something that everyone should have. They should have some sort of an e-commerce platform. Shopify does make it easy.
So
Veronica's book
easy.
makes it easy. And for those of you who are thinking about what kind of a side gig should you do, and this is a great time of the year. Look, we're winding down to 2021. We're coming into 2022, and a lot of people set New Year's resolutions. And
Always, right?
one of them might be creating a side hustle of selling products online. And so, why not set up your own Shopify site? Is things are a little bit quieter, maybe with work and things
Yeah,
you're kind of winding down the year. Get the book, read it, and then start doing this. Start
exactly.
building your own site. So let's go into kind of what is it? What kinds of things would people want to sell on
That
Shopify?
that is so hard. So my first tip is sell something that you like
Mhm.
and that you can be passionate about. I don't care what it is. I've got one of my weak clients sells hair bands and she makes millions, right? So it doesn't matter, but you have to be passionate about it. And why I'm saying this is you have to write about it, you have to blog about it, you have to post about it, and you have to talk about it. And if
Mm.
you're not passionate about your product, how's somebody going to buy from you instead of going to Amazon? Since you're on Amazon, right? But it's
Well, we do
true.
want people to
So
come to
you,
Amazon to
as a
buy your book.
small, I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
But you, as an e-commerce store, you are
Mhm.
competing. I'm a
Yeah.
lecturer, a virtual lecturer part time at in a Polish university. Another long story, but I do e-commerce teaching, and they all said
Mhm.
to me, By the time they're finished with the class, they will have a store. And they go, what do we sell? And I go, you have to start slow
Mhm.
because nothing is going to happen overnight.
Right.
Decide about something that you really, really like. I don't care what it is, but there will be a time when you go, this is really not working. Maybe I should change. Maybe I have a new idea. But the
Mhm.
the good thing is, like anything in business, opportunities will open up if you just start. It's
Mm.
amazing how things happen, right? You can do print on demand. You can do, um, what are those other things? Drop shipping, right? You can do so much in an e-commerce store. You can sell your products from Shopify through Shopify onto Amazon, onto into Walmart, onto eBay. So everything, your Shopify store is like a nexus of your
Hmm.
business, and then you put all your products in other markets, because obviously you're borrowing shelf space, right? So
Hmm.
you're going to say to Amazon, "Hey, can I borrow some shelf space?" And they say, "You're going to pay for this, but you can have this little
Hmm.
space to sell your product, because you want to borrow their customers, right?" And that's how you grow, is by trying to put your products everywhere. And you know ask people around you. If you have an idea, talk to people, not
Hmm.
just family and friends, right? Talk to
Right.
strangers. You go to the hairdresser, you go to the dentist, sit there and you
Hmm.
talk to, well, now these days you don't see anybody in the waiting room, but talk to people and say, "Hey, would you buy this if you saw this on
Hmm.
on the internet?" And then you can get a really good idea of, um, this could maybe happen, or it couldn't. A few years ago,
That's, yeah,
that I have to tell you the
that's
story.
good. That's
There
good.
was a round rock this big
Mm.
in a leather pouch, half of the rock, covered half the rock, that you hung around your neck. $100 from Neiman Marcus. They sold 1 million of these stupid things. I mean, seriously, seriously. So you just
Yeah, there
you
it's
don't know.
amazing. It's amazing what
Yes.
can be sold now. One of the inspirations that I had a number of years ago. Oh, well, we were selling eclipse glasses when the
Oh
when
yes. Oh yes.
the eclipse went across the country, and it went right over my house. And I was telling a lot of businesses, there's money to be made on the path of totality. And so I was off for a walk with my wife and thought, hey, I'm a smart guy. I should take my own advice. And so I looked and researched and I came up with stuff. And we decided, a friend of mine who is a printer, we decided that we would do our own eclipse glasses. But we live here in the Northwest, craft beer and wines. And so we, instead of the glasses that you put on, we did pint glasses. So we got pub quality pints and we had a graphic made up and we printed them up and we sold those. And but one of the inspirations for us goes way back to when Skylab, the space station that went up in the 70s and the 80s, and it was coming down. And so there was a lot of news coverage about it, and it went harmlessly into the ocean as it came into the atmosphere and broke up. But there was a guy who made money on his e-commerce website selling Skylab protective helmets. And what he did is he took aluminum foil
Yes.
and he folded them up into the classic newspaper boat hat. And then he would mail them out. So he sold them to people. And his gimmick was that if while wearing a Skylab protective helmet, you were hit and hurt by a falling piece of debris from Skylab, you would get a full money back on on your helmet.
I don't.
The
Yeah,
guy made
exactly.
made money selling that, and so
Exactly. Exactly.
and
You
so
just don't
someone's going to
know.
sell a pouch with a rock in it, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
for it. Set up a
Exactly.
site.
I know. Set up a site and just. I mean, my whole thing is let's go. So should I do this? Just start. Just start with
Mm,
anything, right? I mean, and it's your enthusiasm that will literally sell the product. So I have in
yeah.
my book, I have a lot of tips that I put in, tips from my experience or from my clients' experience,
Hmm.
and on how why you should do stuff, because obviously I can tell you just step for step what to do, but I also have to tell you why to do it. And I'm actually relaunching my updated version in about 2 weeks as well, in my 2 3 weeks as well. And so if you're interested in that, you can let us know, and then I will actually gift a free new book to you if you bought
Well,
one
there you
already.
go. There you go.
So
Yeah. So click it, add to the cart, get get the information today and then get the update later. But there's no reason to wait. You need to get started today because, as they
Yeah.
say, the two best times to plant a
Yeah.
tree are 50 years ago and today. The best time to start your e-commerce site would have been 5 years ago or today. So
Doesn't
let's
matter.
talk about
It
some of these
doesn't matter.
tips.
No, it doesn't matter.
What are some of the tips that people are going to find when they get Shopify made easy from Veronica?
So, okay, so the first thing that people really don't think about is getting your domain name before you choose a name. Because
Mm,
everybody goes, oh, I'm going to call my, and I'm going to throw my one little friend under the bus. Gorgeous natural skincare. No,
mm-hmm,
it's too long. It's too generic. You can't trademark it.
mm,
It doesn't mean anything, right? It
mm-hmm,
has the keywords in there, but mm, and so you always got to think one step ahead. If I'm going to grow, and if I want to be on Amazon, I have to be trademarked.
mm-hmm.
So can I get the trademark? Is it too generic? And um, and so what happens is they get the name, then they go on the internet and they go, oh, it's not available. I will get gorgeous hyphen skincare. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
lord, that's it. That's it. Your competition is going to get all your business. Or
Oh
they
my
go,
gosh.
I will have gorgeous natural skincare.net. Nobody
Mm,
looks for .net. I know it's been available forever,
mm-hmm,
but if you're looking for an e-commerce site, you automatically, without even thinking about it, you look for .com.
mm-hmm.
So again, so that is and so one more about the domain name,
Yeah,
and this is also a story, is get the plural or the singular of your domain name,
interesting.
because lesson learned, this was my first e-commerce store, and I had to hand code 3,649 pieces of product. Every single product had a different number. I did it by hand because it was Yahoo Shop at that stage,
Mm-hmm.
and I promised myself never ever to do another store again. And here I am. But and this was a flag company. He had manufacturing. He made the flags. He put up the flags. So he
Hmm,
had employees and stores and warehouses. And so he only had his domain name a singular.
right.
Some enterprising little guy in Florida decided to buy the plural of his domain name. My client made about $3 million at that stage. This little guy sitting in his apartment made $1.5 million
What?
from his, yes.
Wow.
What a good lesson, right?
Mm,
So whatever you do, because
yeah,
people are very sneaky, right?
yeah.
Yes.
That's an interesting one. So yeah, so motivationallistener.com. I should get motivationallisteners.com
Yes,
and make sure
absolutely.
that I own that. And
Yes.
and so we are talking with Veronica here about Shopify, building your e-commerce site. Everyone should have one. Is you're coming into 2022 and you think, what can I do to create some side income? And
Yes.
we found in this last year and a half that it's important that you have multiple streams of income.
Mhm.
And I think this is one of the best ways to do it. And as Veronica says, find a product that you're passionate about. What are some success stories that you've seen, clients that you've worked with, and
Yeah. So I've seen several. One of my little retail company. Um, she was, she sells high end designer kids clothes in this kids boutique, and her online was doing maybe 10 a month orders on shipping, and she wasn't very fussed about it. And COVID hit, and obviously the first few months it was mayhem and panic, and
mm,
so we swung around, got her online, got all the products online. She has already hit the 1 million mark this year without a sweat. So
Wow.
that's one of them. And then I've got, I mean, there are bad and good things about e-commerce, but I would say overall, my clients, whether they have one product, whether they have a whole lot of products, whether they're making their own products, they if if you consistently work at it and get it
Hmm.
out there, and as one of my little clients say, and listen to Veronica, okay, because I do a workshop on Mondays and I give lots of lessons. And this is
Yeah.
how my planner started, because they needed a plan. We need a plan. So and if you consistently do all the steps and stay in front of your customers, you will sell something. Because here's the fact: if you do not stay in front of your customers, somebody else will. So the
Right.
the
Yeah.
moment that you rest and say, "Oh, I'm so tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. Why am I doing this?"
Hmm.
Somebody pops in and they've got the sale. So being in front of your customer is essential. It's even more important than having a lot of products. And
Hmm.
starting small. I keep saying it's baby steps. You've got to do the baby steps, learn your business, and then get into it, and you get busier. But pitching up in front of your company, your customers, and I mean showing up in front of your customers online constantly is going to get you more sales. That's the bottom line.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you have to pay for advertising. That's a fact of life.
Indeed. Yeah. It's is they say if you have a business and you don't advertise, it's like flirting in the dark. Only you know what's going on. So it is a lot of work. You do have to be in
I,
front of
I
people.
really like that. I like that. Yes, I mean it's otherwise, you have a brochure. I had a
Mm,
client come to me and say, "I haven't sold anything. I thought it was going to fly off the shelves." Actually, a couple of them, and I said, "You didn't advertise. We haven't done the blogs. We haven't
hmm.
done the emails. We've only done the social because that's the money he wanted to spend." And I said,
Hmm.
that is like growing 2%. If you're going to
Mm,
grow organically, is a sad state of affairs. 2%. And do you know that your conversion rate, if your store is not set up properly, it's seriously bad. It could be 0.02%. But
right.
average, your conversion rate is between 1.5 to 3%.
Hmm.
So you're growing organically, and these few people that come on your website, maybe in half a person will buy something.
Right. Mm,
So
yeah.
you have to have that movement of people coming in and looking around and trusting you. And maybe I like this person. Maybe I like
Hmm.
your face. Maybe I like that she lives on a boat. You
Right.
don't know really, right?
Hmm.
And that's where you're going to sell. If you talk to anybody that's been successful, they will tell you how much they had to jump around.
Mm,
And I don't care if it's online or offline. My
right.
boutique lady
Right.
said, I said to her, said, okay, tell me, I was interviewing her, I said, tell me what it was like in the beginning. She says, crickets. I
Mm,
opened my door and there was nobody.
wow.
Nobody walked in.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing when you have an online store. You think you're going to open the doors, they're going to walk in? I don't think so.
Hmm. Yeah, it does take promotion, and there's a lot of different ways to do that. And again, it depends on your audience. But
Yes.
but uh, doing podcasts, being on people's podcasts, is a great way to go because you're able to bring the audience you have to them and access to their audience. And so let's go back to the products for a moment on Shopify. So when you're setting up your site, and I like that you have this crawl, walk, run process. So start small. Can I start my Shopify start with only one product? Is that the
Oh, absolutely.
yeah?
Hmm. Yeah. I have a client. I've actually got a couple of clients. One is a really interesting story. He started in his 70s. So it's like this is
Okay.
a side project
No
for him.
barrier. Yeah.
No barrier, right? There's no barrier. And so he's now selling at least 10 to 20. He's got a log lighter type thing that he actually patented it. And
Okay.
so
Hmm.
he sells. consistently, right? Consistent. So he bought another 500 units, and
Mm,
so he's going to sell them the next 6 months. And so in anything that you sell, is the effort you put in is the effort you're going to get out,
yeah. Yeah.
right?
So true in many things. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so I've got a skincare. He's actually a plastic surgeon. I call him the skincare guy. A plastic surgeon who's got a fabulous product that he started out as a scar, and he's got one product, and we're turning it into a primer because it's fabulous. One product, and
Yeah.
he sells 70 units right now, and it's
Mm,
slow. He's not advertising, he's not doing anything, but he's been doing this for 2 years already. so
hmm.
so we are going to, with the promotions that we're going to do, and I said to him, you do baby steps with the ads, right? You don't have to spend a fortune. I mean,
Hmm.
none of us can afford a fortune in the beginning, but you also
Right.
have to test. And so we are aiming to sell 500 units in 6 months.
Okay.
So, but that has to be a consistent effort, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of that. So doing your own social media, writing your blogs, being on podcasts, maybe articles. There's different ways, and really, to me, a lot of the things that's important is to look at what are the companion products. So
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
yeah. Go ahead. Let's go into this then.
Oh,
Go ahead.
absolutely.
Let's talk about that.
So, so if you had, so I've got one little client. She's got a bag, a travel bag. She hasn't patented it. I have no idea why, but she's got a travel bag that she developed. And so I said to her, to get more people into your store, maybe see what you can sell from Amazon, right?
Hmm.
And then,
Yeah.
so you make
Absolutely.
a little bit on, you only make a little bit on those products, but
Hmm.
you're getting more people to your website to, and then they see your bag and hopefully they buy. And but again, she stopped and she said, she called me yesterday, she said, you know what, it's not selling. I said, have you done what I told you? He goes, no.
Hmm.
So how can you, so you just have to constantly get that flow of people coming through your store.
And that's the interesting thing. So you talked about the conversion rate. And so that's for, say, if your conversion rate's 3, then for every 100 people that visit your site, 3 of them are going to buy from you, right? And so that's
Yes,
so
yes, can you
so
imagine?
you know, yeah,
That's
it's just the numbers. As they say, marketing is not about graphics and logos and snappy taglines. It's math. And so get more people
Yes,
to the
it
site,
is. Absolutely.
make it a good experience, and buy more stuff. Yeah, I think the first company that I sold with, the first product that I sold on Amazon was back in 2007. And things have changed a lot over these years. And I think there's been about 5 different companies that I've sold with on Amazon. But all of those we sold through Amazon, and we sold on our own website through an e-commerce
Yes,
platform. Back in those days, we
yes,
didn't have Shopify. So just to give people an idea, back in 2007, and so the economy was different back then, but we had an e-commerce website that cost $10,000 to build. And we had to
whoa,
have an outside company come in and do it. And it sounds like a lot of money, but that was the going rate to build
yeah.
an e-commerce website. So there's a lot of, as you talked about, the more you put in, the more you get out. But
That's a lot of money. You have to sell a
well, you
lot of products.
yeah, yeah. Well, and that's why I want to go and talk about Shopify, because Shopify has made it easy. And Veronica, your book makes it easier for people to get started. But if I was looking at selling maybe just one product on Shopify and set up the site, do I need $10,000, $5,000? What do I need? What kind of investment am I going to have to make? Just round figures, ballpark.
$30. That's how
You're
that's how
serious.
easy it is. I'm serious.
Okay.
$30. So you have to pay for the plan. There's a free
Hmm.
theme. It's so easy to set up, right? You literally click and add your products. And in the beginning, it's going to really look bad if you don't have somebody to help you, if you don't know what you're doing.
Hmm.
But yeah, I have to mention my book here. But if you step for step listen to me how to set up your store, I show you exactly everything that you need to do, and you will have a really good representation of your store online.
Hmm.
And you literally don't have. And so I fight against people that go, well, I got a web developer in. I go, stop the bus right there. You have to save money in the beginning. Don't
Right.
spend, and people are going to hate me for this. Don't spend money. Don't spend money, right?
Hmm.
You can get things done so cheaply these days. If
Yeah.
you, if even if we set up websites as well. I'm obviously not cheap because I don't really want to do it. I just want to teach it. But there are people that literally will set you up for $500, do a complete design. I have a couple of people that do it. They do a
Hmm.
complete design for you, make it really pretty, and that's it. If you wanted that, and I have clients that set up their own sites, which they look okay, right?
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
they're going to grow. And so my philosophy is, don't spend money you do not have.
Hmm.
I would rather take that money and spend a little bit, maybe a little bit on making your images pretty and everything, but spend the bulk of your money on some advertising, because it is so hard not to sell when you're excited about something and you got these products and you look in the morning and there's no ding ding ding. And that takes,
Yeah.
it does take a while. So I've my puzzle lady, she created this puzzle because she's got an autistic son and he
Mm-hmm.
would break all the puzzles. So she got a really really good product and bought a printer, bought the dies, and started making her own puzzles. And so now she's been with me now for 11 years. She resigned as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Wow.
said, she keeps reminding me, I keep forgetting about this. She said, Veronica, you told me it'll take 6 to 10 months to get my store, to get somebody to come and buy. And I said, really? I did? She goes, yes. She said, and you know what? I listened to you. Well, not always very, very, very softly, but she did listen to me. And she said it was that 10th month where it's like opening the doors and people were streaming in.
Wow.
But she worked it, right? She
Hmm.
worked every single thing I told her. She did the
Yeah.
blog, she did her SEO, she did the promotions online, and she's still doing it because you can't sit on your laurels, because around the corner there's somebody else that's going to do it, right?
Right.
And so the entry into e-commerce is so low these days. You
Hmm.
have so much competition, and nobody's going to reinvent the wheel, right? Doesn't matter what if you have a patent out there or what it is, there is somebody else selling exactly what you, or similar to what you're
Sure.
selling.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Solving the
is
same problem.
what you do exactly, right? It is what you do to get it in front of the customer. That's the
Mm.
secret.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned that. It was a friend of mine that he used to say that your best customer is your competition's best prospect,
Yes,
right? Yeah. So,
exactly. Yes,
so
exactly.
yeah.
Right?
So,
Yes.
so be, treat them well, but know who your customers are. And as you listen to your customers, so you can start with that one product. You can start with $50. You can maybe invest later
Yes.
on as you've made a few sales, and get the site prettied up, but put money into the advertising, do the social media, do the blogs, be on podcasts, do anything that you can do to
Hmm.
tell your story. I always tell my clients, never miss an opportunity to tell your story. So
I
if the
know, right?
local,
Yes.
yeah, one of the local service clubs, Seroptimus or Rotary or Chamber of Commerce
Yes.
says, Veronica, would you be willing to speak? You say,
Hell yes.
yes.
Hell yes. I don't care. I start when I started speaking in front of a crowd, I went, oh, this is
Mm,
very scary, but it gets easier.
yeah.
All it does is practice, right? You
Hmm.
got
Yeah.
to be out there. One of my clients is in Mystic Network. He is up in Mystic, and he is the best hustler ever.
Yeah.
He is in chamber. He is on the radio, and he's grown his company. There are always problems with a growing company, right? Because you
Hmm.
have employees and you've got more overheads. But he is, if there's an opportunity, he's there taking advantage of it. If there's a
Hmm.
competition for small business, he's there taking advantage of it. So
Hmm.
you've got to be open to the opportunities to get your customers in front of your customers.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
that's
It
why
is
that's
important.
also sorry. So that's why I developed the planner is
Yeah. And I've got that
keeping,
highlighted in the carousel,
yeah, right?
so people can take a look at that. And I just say, go ahead and add it to cart.
Yes, I
Add
know,
it to
right?
cart. Get
Because
the planner
because
in there.
you really literally have to keep focused on doing the steps every single day and
Hmm.
then rinse and repeat. Unfortunately, this is what it is about business, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's I've got the planner in there highlighted, but also we have a you have a workbook that goes along with
Oh,
the book.
yes. Yes.
And so
Yes.
let's talk about that a little bit. And I'll remind people we are talking to Veronica Jeans, the Shopify queen. Shopify is probably the easiest way for you to set up an e-commerce site. $50, right? $50, get it
30.
started.
$30.
50,
30.
30,
30. Yes.
30. Oh, sorry.
30.
That's
Yes,
my
it's
tip.
the
It's
accent. It's the
$30 to get
accent.
it started. It's $20 to tip me
Yes.
for the advice. $30, you can get your site started.
Hmm. Hmm.
Build your side hustle. Start today. Download get the book, but
Mm.
get the workbook and the success planner. But let's talk
Yes.
about the workbook.
So the workbook started, brilliant idea again. I thought, you need something where you know that you've checked everything that you've done. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes in the beginning, you don't need everything and you tend to forget what you've added and where
Hmm.
you've added it, right? So,
Right.
right? So, for instance, in the payment section, you put your payment in. You have
Hmm.
Shopify payments, which is marvelous, but you have Amazon Pay and you have PayPal and you've got alternative payments. So you don't need all that in the beginning, and
Hmm.
you're so busy, busy, busy trying to make your business work that you forget. Oh yeah, I can make it easier for my
Oh,
customers
yeah.
to buy, right? So that's why I did the workbook as well.
Yeah, I love that because it's such an important thing to have. Yeah, it's always good. It's as you're building a site, where you keep your assets, how you keep them ordered, whether you have videos or photos, how you
Yes,
separate those out,
yes.
and as you update your photos, you want to make sure that you've got the current ones. And this is one of those things that you mentioned too. I think this is a good place to put some money if you have a product, to hire somebody to take good, clean,
Oh,
high resolution
absolutely.
product
Yes.
shots.
Yes, please, please, because nobody can taste, feel, or smell your
Mm,
product.
right.
So they have to, boom, they see your product, they want it because it looks so amazing. And not just one image,
Hmm.
put in 5 or 6 images, put them
Right.
in context of how they're going to use it, right?
Hmm.
Not just, hey, here's the product in white. No, I want to see it in situ. How am I going to use it? Give me ideas and then do a video, right? How
Hmm.
to use the product, because people love those types of things.
Right. Yeah, this is good, and because there is no salesman there to
No,
rep the product and to tell a person, well, if it came in red, would you buy it? Or
yes, yes,
with
I know.
broad shoulders
Or
like
maybe
you,
you need
Scott,
this with it. Yes,
yeah, with broad shoulders like yours, this is exactly the thing you need, right? It's not going to happen. So the images and
yes,
the copy that goes with it, the descriptions
yes.
are really important too.
Oh,
and you might want
Yes.
to consider hiring at least an editor, um, to proofread
Yes.
and maybe edit. If you haven't even hired it, maybe you would hire a writer to ghostwrite your product descriptions.
Yeah, and they're all on Fiverr. So with as I mentioned, with Copy AI can help you with that as well. It's
Hmm.
amazing the help you can have with different types of. And so I have in the book I also have a list of products you can use, and I have it from the book. I have a link to go onto my website for tools that you can use
Mm.
in your Shopify store, for your Shopify store, for free images. I've got about 10 websites where you can get free images. How to write copy, how to do advertising. All of that is on my resources page, which I keep updated.
It sounds like you've made Shopify easy.
Yes, I know, right? I know.
There's
Yeah, it was one
a
of those things.
This is the title of the book, Shopify Made Easy, written by Veronica Jeans. And buy the book, get started today. Uh, but also, I would recommend if you're going to do this, you want to make an investment in yourself, make an investment in the business. Get the book, get the workbook, get the
Yes.
success planner,
Mhm.
get that triple threat going. And Veronica, let her know that you bought the book, and you'll be able to get
Yes.
the update as well
Yes.
when that releases. But get started today. Start setting up your site,
Hmm.
and but products. There's a lot of different products out there,
Oof. There's so
and
many.
there's different ways to get those products. But I recommend that you find the ones that are in line with your passions, so that you can do like Veronica was saying about the social media, about the posting, about doing the videos. Obviously, we're in live video now. I'm a huge proponent of doing live video. And
Yes.
if you start building an audience on different social platforms, connecting with them live and giving them access to you is a huge thing. I'm thinking about some of these healthcare products, maybe that you have clients with, the
Yes.
communities that they've built.
Yes, exactly. I mean, people go, oh, I can't go online. What am I going to talk about? It's like blogging. It's like live blogging. Talk to them and tell them
Mm.
about the product, how to use it, what problems it solves.
Hmm.
And maybe if you buy this product, then you know what? You should maybe buy this product and this goes together. Or,
Mm.
show them skincare is so easy, right? Show them how to wash their face and how
Yeah.
to apply stuff and how to not touch your face. And there's so if you start if you start making a list of problems your product can solve, or
Mm.
even the accessories can solve. I mean, even a little thing like a travel bag, right?
Hmm.
We were coming up with copy today on the travel bag. It's like, and the one sentence said, if I travel, I'm always buying extra stuff. And then when I get back and start packing, it's just like my suitcase explodes. But in this travel bag, there are compartments, which makes it better for traveling. That's it. That that one sentence will sell the travel bag.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, this is great because again, uh, we're getting high quality images. We're
Hmm.
doing good videos and showing the product in context and how to use it, and then using this copy to verbally tell the story.
Yes, you've got to tell the story. I mean, you got
Hmm.
to as and so the tips I have is about visual branding. For instance, what is visual
Hmm.
branding? Is
Mm.
people need to come on the website and they need to feel like, wow, this is amazing. And you can make it very simple. There's
Hmm.
Don't complicate matters, right? Even as I
Right.
said, even with one product, you just put the one product out there. But
Hmm.
think about, okay, so what can it solve? And maybe you do something environmentally friendly, or you here's a good idea:
Hmm.
help a community, right? So if you sell a product, you are going to help a community.
Right.
it, it's essential in business to start supporting your community, but tell people about it, because
Hmm.
that's what buyers really do like, consumers, right?
Sure. Yeah, we were just, of course, it's Veterans Day here, and we were down
Yes.
at a restaurant that they were giving a portion of the proceeds to a local senior care center
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to help people, and so w- it was a perfect fit for us. We said, well, we want to go out to lunch. So right before we did this broadcast, my wife and I were out to lunch to celebrate Veterans Day and support a good cause. And so we chose
Yes.
that restaurant because they were supporting that cause. And so people will make that same decision, but once again, they have to know what you're
Yes.
doing.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can't not be online. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
our lives are online. It's
Mhm.
never going to go away. The
Right.
genie is out of the box. The genie is not going to go back in the box
No,
again. Doesn't matter
no.
if Facebook survives or not. It is,
Right.
we are out, right? It's just never going to change. So it's just going to be a different playing field.
Hmm.
So you have to be online, and
Yep.
you have to have those. They have to have your Facebook images, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok's amazing.
Yeah.
You can sell on TikTok through Shopify. YouTube is got a carousel now as well, right? I mean, there's so many opportunities to literally do it from the boat,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So I recommend to people get the book, get the workbook, get the success planner. Uh, get your Shopify store set up for $30, only $30. Get started with that.
30 years.
Get your product on there, and of course, I am a big fan of selling on Amazon. So I always recommend do
Yes.
both. Right, put your product on
You have
Amazon,
to do both. You have
and
to. I'm telling you, you have to do it.
yeah, so what happens is there's a huge audience here on Amazon, and people
Yes.
feel comfortable about buying. They've got
Mm-hmm.
Prime and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people will find the product and maybe go to your website and check it out. And it's your Shopify site. They can buy it right there.
Yes,
Some
exactly.
people, and so we like choice. That's what it comes down to is people want choice. I don't want to be able to be, I don't want to be forced into buying a product one way or another. I want to buy in a way
Yes.
that's comfortable for me. And so this is a really superb way to do it.
And so they, if they see your product on Amazon, they're going to get your product, trust you more, like your product. If you send it out, send a card out and say, hey,
Mm.
come to my website, check us out some more. You have to be very sneakily with Amazon, by the way. You very sneakily, but but you can put your website on the card, and then
Yeah.
maybe they'll just go back to Amazon to buy it. It doesn't really matter. It
Hmm.
is, you are selling the product. That
That's
is the
exactly it.
bottom line.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you sell it.
And you're adding people into your community,
Yes.
so you're giving them choice, get them the way that they want to do it, but build your community. So use those social platforms depending on your audience,
Hmm.
which one makes sense, and build your community there. And I will guarantee you that if you do the advertising and you get the people to your
Yes.
site and you treat them well, you build your community, that they will be your best sales force.
Yeah, don't forget about the low hanging fruit, which is customers that have already bought from you.
Mm.
Obviously, Amazon doesn't make it easy to connect to your customers, but there are ways. And
Hmm.
look after your customers. Listen to your customers, make them feel special, and there's another. I have three things that I actually tell people, and look after them afterwards. Right? Keep
That's
them
right.
keep them informed about what you're doing.
Hmm. Yeah, when you're selling to your customers and they receive the product, and I like the ideas of cards. It's a part of that experience. And Rodrigo here on Amazon says Veronica rocks.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
That's marvelous.
that's
So,
good.
and if you hit the big opportunity, people tend to not take advantage. And believe me, I've got clients that come to me and they go, You don't send anything with the packet. You're
Hmm.
just sending the packet out. Yes. Holy cow.
Right. You're
You have
missing an
stickers.
opportunity.
You got it. Hey, you've bought once from me. Here's a
Right.
10% discount. I have, I sell, I actually help one of my clients actually run their store, which is
Hmm.
Shona Sculptures. We're actually popping them onto Amazon in about two weeks. They've got
Wonderful.
one of each, but each of these that I send out a handwritten note from the client, from my clients who are the
Hmm.
owners, and on the back I explain about the product, and on it says, "Come and visit us again. Here's 10%." Right?
Wow. Yeah. That's wonderful. It does build that loyalty, and they want to come back
Yes.
because
Yes.
they've been treated personally.
Yes. Exactly.
Not, and I'll say it's not the 10%; it's the personal treatment. I mean, the 10%'s great. The
Yeah.
10%'s great.
I think the note
Yeah.
is that little bit extra. I mean, people don't do it. They don't send things through mail. And nowadays we have to start thinking differently. And
Mm.
how can we be different to our competition is handwritten notes. That
Hmm.
people don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So work on your penmanship and do send out those notes.
Yes.
And again, it's not the discount; it's is that you're treating people like individuals. And in a mass market society,
Hmm.
that is a huge competitive
Yes.
advantage.
Yes. Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. Sending that little note out to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Who gets a card these days, right? Or, this is our anniversary. You've been a customer of mine for a year. Here's an extra little something in the box for you. Give
Hmm.
one of your products away for the birth or for the anniversary. Think of something that
Right.
people don't tend to do.
The other thing that I think is really important because for me, I bristle against immediate discounts, always giving people a discount for something. But
Yes.
access is
No.
really important. And so if you can set up a special Zoom meeting, maybe with the founder or inventor or somebody within the company that has a personality that's attractive to people, or if you're going to have
Yeah.
maybe set up a special time and invite those customers to a new product release and
Yes.
let them
Yes.
know ahead of time. And
Yes.
there's a lot of different ways. I was working with a lady who was doing fashion, so she was making her own clothes or making clothes and selling them, and so she would travel internationally to find the fabrics, and she used Instagram. And what she would do is when she was in the market, she would take
Hmm.
pictures of the different bolts of cloth, and then her customers could give immediate feedback and go, "Oh yes, we want the
I like
yellow
that.
one, not the orange
Yes.
one." And so she
Ask
would
your
buy it.
customers. Yes.
Yeah,
Ask your customers because they will tell you what they want.
exactly.
Yes.
And when they when they made their vote, when they said I like this one, it also created a bit of obligation, so that
Yes.
now when that uh, clothing article appears on her website, her Shopify site, or Amazon, but on her Shopify site for sale, there's some sort of an obligation to hit add to cart
Yeah.
because
Because they've
they
already got it
said
in their head, right? They said
yes.
they liked it. And oh yeah, I like this thing. I need to
Mm.
yes. And one of I we were talking about discounts today. I don't like giving automatic discounts.
Hmm.
What I like to do is giving you a coupon code. And so Katie said, "Well, I don't like, people don't like coupon codes." I said, "Haha." So if your customer doesn't use the coupon code, then what you do is you pick up the phone or you email them and say, "Hey, you didn't get your discount. I'm giving you the discount
Wow.
anyway."
Wow.
Another opportunity to connect with them, right? I mean,
You're looking out for them, right? Looking out for their best interest.
exactly. Or if your shipping is too much, a lot of people will go, I'll just put it in my pocket. How grateful would
Mm,
somebody be if you said, "You know what, you paid too much shipping,
yeah.
here's the money back," right?
Beautiful.
That is such a little thing. And people are grateful for dollars, not for lots of money, for the little bit that you give back. Because
Hmm.
if they got back $2 on every purchase they did, right, they would save a lot of money. I mean, I get excited about PayPal giving me 20 cents,
There you go. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You
So
get that little email that says, look who has money. And you're just like, hey, I'll take it. Every bit counts.
it's eight
Hey,
cents.
Veronica, this has
I know
been a
every
fabulous
little
time.
bit sounds.
The time has just flown by. I can't believe it. Um, but I want to give you a chance to let people know how to get a hold of you, because when they buy the book, I know there's some links in there
They
that
are.
they can get some additional information. But if they would like to contact you directly, learn from you, maybe have you come and speak either in person or virtually, what is a good
Mhm.
way to get a hold of Veronica?
Well, go to my website, veronica.jeans.
There you go.
Very, very easy. Yeah, just contact me on my website. I'm online. I'm on LinkedIn, Veronica Jeans. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and actually, when you look for Shopify Queen, I picture.
All right. Well, there you go. Hey, Veronica, this has been fun. Thank you for joining us here. Amazon
I
Live.
loved it. It was
We
fabulous.
talk about Shopify. Hang out in the green room for a moment. We'll sign off, and then I'll be right back with you. So we have had Veronica Jeans, the Shopify queen. We've got her books in the carousel. Shopify Made Easy. There is a workbook. There is the success planner. Maybe you that want to start your business. Maybe you know somebody that's been dreaming about it, and this would be a great gift this holiday season. Buy the books. You can have them shipped directly to their home. Just put them in the address, and have those books sent, and let them start off 2022. Make it the best year ever starting their own business. But hey, we've been having fun with Veronica. Scott Smith, I'm going to sign off for now, but thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you all again.